Barbers of Reddit, what was your oh shit moment? My coworker at a salon was cutting a girl's hair and found lice. The girl's mom had left her for the trim and she had to wait for her mom in the lobby. We spent the next hour or so frantically cleaning around all of the other clients and stylists to sanitize the whole place top to bottom. When the mom came back and asked her why she didn't have her haircut, she replied, "They found out. Who brings their lice-ridden child to the salon?" The typical not a barber here, but I used to go to a local barber college to get my hair cut because it was cheap. One girl had never cut a white guy's hair and her teacher asked if I was okay with it. I said sure, she has to learn somehow and it's just hair, it can be shaved and should grow back. Told her how I wanted the haircut, pretty simple. A little short and off the ears. Jokingly said do not take my ears off. Long story short, I left with a bald head and a band-aid on the top of my left ear after bleeding like a stuck pig due to blood thinners where she nipped me with the scissors. Even her teacher couldn't save the haircut. I did my best to try and help the girl calm down as she was ugly crying. Went back a month later and asked if the girl was there, thankfully she was and I simply smiled and said round 2. She did it perfect second time around. My dad let me line myself up once. Fucked up. Decided to cut the whole thing off and go bald. The plus side to being black is that 99% of the time being bald looks fine. I guess I was part of the 1% that looks like a fucking Whopper malt ball. Not me, but my mom who was a hairdresser. Did you know that some hair dye chemicals don't play well together? Turns out the lady had used some sort of home hair dye chemical that basically has tiny bits of metal in it. She didn't mention. My mom goes to dye her hair and puts the professional dye on it and the hair more or less starts melting as the dye reacts. Her hair was totally ruined, there was no saving it. Only thing to do was to just get the new dye off as fast as possible. She was pretty understanding about the whole situation though. My husband and I both cut our own hair. I haven't messed mine up too badly ever, nothing that a strategic bobby pin couldn't camouflage. He on the other hand, managed to take a chunk out of his front hairline once because he didn't realize the guard wasn't on. Thank God for it being winter so he just rocked a beanie until it grew out enough to blend in. Now we just laugh about it. My mom was cutting my hair when I was younger, around second grade. She was only using the razor at one point towards the end. A piece of hair fell on my nose and made me sneeze, my head moved and I ended up with a bald spot. I ended up having to get shaved completely bald to fix it and she refused to give haircuts after that, except for one time during COVID. Not a barber, but my cousin worked in a salon when I was a kid and I would hang out there a lot after school. One day she cut a guy's head pretty bad with the clippers. Lots of blood but it wasn't too serious. This led to them dating and eventually getting married. Brother of a barber who used to be a hair model. Back when I used to have a good head of hair. His instructor told a story during one of the shows about a mobster falling asleep during a shave. While shaving him, he accidentally cut off a mole. He said he kept on putting towels on him and then snuck across the street and hid in a bar watching through the window until the mobster left. Since he was only renting the chair in the shop, he grabbed all his stuff and found another place to work after he was sure the mobster was gone. When I suddenly have a heart attack before finishing my client's cut. I'm not a barber, but one time my mom cut my ear with the hair clippers and she freaked out whilst I was sitting there wondering what the hell was going on until she shouted, "Get a tissue, we have blood loss." Kid, 17, with a bunch of acne, like total pizza face and neck, wanted a straight razor shave on the back of his neck. Sliced off a bunch of pimples that bled for like 10 minutes. Really, really gross.